You can't get out here, sir.
So if Lulu's doing this, I'm just freaking her out. Hey.
This is fine. Okay. I'm warming up a bit. It's not as bad as I thought. Oh, there's a fuck. No. No.
Out in the wild, danger doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it starts with something small that feels just slightly off. A solo traveler wakes up to strangers pulling into her campsite in the middle of the night, while somewhere else a group exploring a haunted forest later discovers a figure standing behind them, something they never saw at the time. When moments like that happen, do you brush it off as coincidence, or realize too late that something was already watching you? The engine of a Jeep isn't just a machine, it's the rhythm of a dream. For Victoria Rose, that dream comes to life through solo female van life, a personal mission to live freely, travel on her own, and embrace simplicity. On her YouTube channel, The Jurassic Jeep, Victoria captures what it means to shape her own path, from preparing budget-friendly meals with discounted ingredients to facing deeper fears like navigating unfamiliar roads alone. Her journey reflects courage, adaptability, and the raw beauty of living without a set plan. On August 13, 2023, Victoria made her way into the Chautauqua National Forest in New York, searching for solitude and a remote camping experience.
We made it. I wasn't sure. I haven't, like I said, I've never tried to find free camping around these parts, and it is a little different than it is in the West. In the West, there's so much land. You can find very remote places. There's like park rangers and stuff everywhere, and I don't know, just smaller areas, so I feel like a little bit less free, but it's camping. The bugs! I forgot about that. I already got bit by one, and I usually don't. Fortunately, I think I have some bug spray, so let's check. This is a really nice area, but it's Chautauqua National Forest in New York. Oh. Why do they always get you on the ankle? Okay, so I got this, I think in Nevada at a natural food store, and it's lemon eucalyptus oil insect repellent. I don't know if it'll work, but we are going to put it on our ankles and everywhere. Also, they have porta potties here, so this is like luxury for me.
The day felt peaceful. Warm light filtering through the trees, a soft hum of insects, and a quiet sense of satisfaction in finding a free, isolated site. As night settled in, she applied lemon eucalyptus oil for bugs, zipped up her tent, and eventually drifted off to sleep. But around 1 a.m., the stillness was broken. A loud pickup truck with blinding headlights drove straight into her campsite. Instead of passing through, the vehicle stopped just inches from her Jeep. A family, parents and children began unloading camping gear, laughing and talking loudly as if she wasn't even there. Caught between anger and disbelief, Victoria stepped out to confront them.
What the fuck? You guys gonna kick me out of this spot? Are you guys gonna move your truck so I can at least leave? You can move your truck so I can leave? Huh? Well, it's kind of weird that I was well, I am. Well, now I have to like leave because there's no way I can sleep like this. Can you at least ask, like, or say excuse me or something? Like, I was camped here.
I understand. We told you we didn't know they were in there.
Right, but can you like say like yeah, but it's just common courtesy to say sorry, I didn't realize. Is it okay if we camp here? But it's like, this is the spot that I got. It's just strange. It's rude. I don't really know where to go or what to do.
Only to be met with dismissive reactions. They had effectively boxed her in, making it impossible to leave or rest. Despite her exhaustion, she realized staying could escalate the situation. At nearly 3 a.m., she made the difficult decision to pack up and drive away through the dark woods, too tired to think clearly, but unwilling to remain where she felt unsafe.
It's like 2 in the morning. This is so strange. I've never had this happen out in the West. Oh, I'm so tired. There's gonna be some lines, but I hate driving at night, especially when I'm this tired, because it's like nearly 3 in the morning. It was a weird situation. I didn't know what to do. Like, what do you do? Infiltrating. It's so loud too. So I was gonna drive to a rest stop. I didn't want to make a big deal because there was kids. So rude. Like, they're so rude, and they're just like not looking at me, acting like I wasn't even there. And I was standing there, like, hey, can you at least say excuse me, or can you say sorry, or can you at least ask me for the campsite? Even though, like, that's rude in itself. Like, it's 2 in the morning. Camping culture in the West versus the East is so much different.
Victoria's experience highlights a rarely discussed reality of solo travel, that the greatest risks often come not from nature, but from other people. Some viewers believe the family's behavior reflected simple carelessness. Others saw it as a form of intimidation, testing boundaries once they realized she was alone. Whatever their intent, it served as a clear reminder that awareness and instinct are just as important as any survival skill on the road. That night, Victoria drove into the silence of the forest, her headlights cutting through the fog. She later described it as a lesson in human wilderness. But one question remains: was this just a careless family unaware of her presence, or something more deliberate, testing how far they could push before she broke? Bucks is a well-known YouTuber mostly recognized for his omegle interactions, lighthearted pranks, and comedic reactions. But nearly a decade ago, his channel looked very different. Back then, he uploaded gaming playthroughs, commentary, and live stream highlights. Hidden deep among those older videos is one that stands apart from the rest: a night when Bucks and his friends entered a forest rumored to be haunted. What began as a harmless exploration quickly turned into something far darker.
Some purely local ghosts are described far more vividly and seem to have once caused considerable alarm, even if only within a few miles radius. Early in the 19th century, for example, there was said to be a most unpleasant spectre in St. Leonard's Forest. It was a headless phantom which would lurk among the trees at dusk, waiting for some horsemen to pass by, and would then spring up behind him, wind its skeletal arm around his neck, and cling to him in spite of all the struggles and pleadings until he reached the further side of the forest. Alright, so we're gonna go to this church which we saw earlier today. I'll just show you that now. Legend has it that everyone in this village they're very, very eerie about this church. They just don't like to talk about it for some reason, so it's not a good spiritual vibe here. It's bad. There's a graveyard around there, and then we're gonna head further up into St. Leonard's Forest, which apparently there is a witch, what's it called, like a cult. Apparently there's actually still people that go there to practice witch hunt. Is it witch hunting? I don't even know what it is, but it's meant to be proper freaky, so we're gonna go. And there's also a lot of lore behind these forests. They seem to be very spiritual. This place is in the middle of nowhere. It's gonna be absolutely pitch black.
It should be good though.
We've got a lot of torches and flashlights, so we've got Big Steve over here with his big torch. Then we've got 2 torches we're gonna strap to our cameras. This is it. This is it, boys. We're on the way. So if I just show you, me and Mike have got the same setup here. So we've got our cameras with a flashlight on top, and then Steve has got a full-on, extremely bright light, and he's also got like a smaller light as well. So,
according to old local legends, St. Leonard's Forest was once home to a terrifying presence, a headless phantom said to appear at dusk, leaping onto the backs of passing riders and clinging to them until they escaped the woods. That chilling history was exactly what drew Bucks and his group there one night. Their plan was simple: visit a centuries-old church and graveyard, then continued deeper into the forest to see what they could find. At first, the night felt like just another eerie adventure. They joked, filmed, and laughed nervously as their flashlights lit up the weathered tombstones. But beneath the humor, an uneasiness was growing. The forest was completely silent. No houses, no streetlights, only the sound of their footsteps crunching over leaves. When they finally reached the abandoned church, even the air seemed heavier.
That is the church right there, and there's a graveyard all the way around. Nah, man, this is just...
Are we actually about to do this now?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it, man.
Oh my fuck, don't do that, man. Oh my god, that was the creepiest noise you could ever do. Nah, I'm freaked out by everything. I want to be in the middle, yeah. Are you with the light? Where's light?
This is insanely scary.
Oh fucking hell. What?
My fly just flew into my... Jesus Christ. Yo, no, I'm not liking this, man. This is the church here. Yo, boys, I really don't like this. Give it a no. Wait, hang on. Oh, mate. Yeah? You doing it? There's a CCTV camera right there, boys. Anybody home? This is fine. Okay. I'm warming up a bit. It's not as bad as I thought. Oh, there's a fucking like proper tombstone over there. Is there?
Just a tombstone. I just think of the Undertaker.
Man, that is proper sketchy. Like. Should we? Oh no! What the fuck?
I know. I thought I seen something.
No. If anyone is here, if any spirits are here, please show us by making some noise.
The structure towered over them, cold and lifeless, surrounded by graves long forgotten. Despite their nerves, they continued determined to capture something unusual on camera. Nothing appeared, at least not yet. After a short break, the group decided to drive further into the woods toward an area rumored to be connected to witchcraft and ritual activity. On the way in, they noticed a car parked in the distance, headlights off. It unsettled them.
So that was the first place that we've just been to. It's a church and a graveyard, and we're now heading to the forests, which is where the spectre thing, the phantom, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's where the history is. There's witches there, there's cults there, so that's where we're heading to next. I've just got such eerie vibes around here. Like, I really don't like it at all. Okay, so this is us now entering the second place. We're just gonna go in, see if there's any cars, see if there's anyone else in here. Oh, this is just so sketchy. Just is. Like, do we turn left, I'm assuming? So I'm guessing that's it down there.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, that's how you get in, that's the entrance. Fuck.
Where's the parking spot?
Around here.
There's a car there.
There's a car there.
Is there actually?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Shit. So that car that you saw was, we don't really know, but we're back in town, we're gonna wait for a bit and then we're gonna head back out.
But they kept going. Hours later, around 2 a.m., they returned flashlights ready. That's when the real tension began. They came across a clearing with burnt markings on the ground, what looked like the remains of a fire pit surrounded by a circle. The discovery shifted the mood instantly. The laughter stopped. Fear replaced curiosity. Suddenly, strange sounds echoed through the trees, footsteps, whispers, movement in the darkness. Panic took over. They ran back to the car in complete chaos, hearts racing. Later, while reviewing the footage, Bucks's viewers noticed something disturbing.
That's not a dog. There's literally no houses around.
It's a circle, it's like a...
shit, like a fire.
Yeah, they'd put something here, and then they'd all sit around in a circle. Nah, this is...
Sketch as
this
fuck,
is
man.
not what this... I do not feel comfortable. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm just not getting a good vibe from here at all. Whereas back there, I wasn't that bad, but in this place, we're getting to open space. This is like territory for like cults and, you know what I mean? Like, this is danger territory right here. Yeah, if someone was to set up a cult, it would be on like flat, open ground like this, right? I'm getting really hot and uncomfortable. Yo guys, I don't know, I'm just out of breath. I don't like this.
Nah, fuck that. No. This isn't even a joke anymore, man.
Oh shit! Go, fuck. Get out of here. Oh my god. Oh, I smell a car. There's another car there. Get the fuck in. There's another car. Get in. Shit. Get in.
A figure standing behind a tree, faintly visible just before they ran. The group had never seen it that night, and when they looked closer at what happened next, things became even more unsettling when they returned to their car. Another vehicle was parked directly beside theirs. Some viewers believe the figure was a person, possibly from the mysterious parked car they had seen earlier, watching them in silence. Others think it was something supernatural, tied to the old legends of St. Leonard's Forest. Whether it was a prankster, someone performing rituals, or something else entirely, the timing and positioning were too precise to ignore. What's more frightening, the idea of a spirit haunting those woods, or the thought that someone had been following them, waiting in the dark for hours. Maybe it was coincidence, maybe it wasn't. Either way, that night Bucks and his friends learned that sometimes the real danger in a haunted forest isn't what's beyond the trees. It's what's already hiding among them. April 19th, 2025. Oregon's Mount Hood and the legendary Bigfoot Highway. On Salish Sasquatch, a channel focused on real encounters and field evidence of the being locals call Sasquatch 8. Witnesses share experiences that changed how they see the wilderness. From quiet campsites to remote forest trails, each story begins the same way, with silence that suddenly feels wrong.
Hi, I'm Mike Leone. I'm from Portland, Oregon. And on September 28th, 2012, I saw a Sasquatch right here. And basically, I pulled into this spot late at night. It was a little bit after 11. I was backed in right here. And it was very quiet, super dry, still night, and really nothing happened. I actually fell asleep right over there in the chair. Woke up sometime in the middle of the night, crawled in. I had a Honda Element at the time. I had a little camper in the back, and just went to sleep like I always do. I woke up. I had the windows cracked. It was a beautiful morning. I was just listening to the birds, laying on my back, when I heard a stellar jay squawking, and that made me sit up. As soon as I sat up, I caught movement to my left, and right there on that road, there was a Sasquatch walking away. I only saw it from the back for a few seconds, walked away around that bend and right out of view. The first thing I said was, "That's my sighting?" Because everyone fantasizes about what their sighting's going to be. And then I grabbed my camera, I had a little flip video camera, and I went after it. And you'll see that on the video. And basically, you'll see on the video, I'm walking really slow because I'm really expecting a Sasquatch to be standing right around this bend. And I'm like creeping with the camera, as you'll see. And of course, there's nothing.
So this is, you can see, you can just see my car. My car is right behind those trees. So when I looked, this is where I saw walking. Right along this dry, dusty dirt. And it just walked right up through here. That time I got my sandals on and out, that thing was gone. It was so stealthy. Holy shit.
So I continued down this road, and it dead ends another 50 yards. And I was in sandals, and I'm looking around for tracks. It was super dry. It hadn't rained in weeks, so there was nothing to see as far as track-wise. And then after looking down the dead end there, you could see there's places where you could see tracks, and there's nothing. I came walking back down. I wanted to get my regular shoes on, and off in the woods up there, I heard this samurai yell, like just wah, rah, rah, really loud. And as I was walking back, I'm like, it almost sounded like it was getting reprimanded for by the other one because maybe it got seen or something. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that Sasquatch cut through the woods and went right up. There's a creek there and then right up that hill. There's nothing but dark woods back there. There is a little trail, but that's it. And yeah, I searched all around that whole day. There was nobody camped here. Both of those campsites were closed. It was the end of September. And it was right about here. I saw it. And I would say it is about 6.5 to 7 feet, dark brown, very broad-shouldered, thick. And it definitely appears like they have no neck, just the way their shoulders and trapezes are built. And they definitely walk with about a 5-degree lean forward. And this thing just walked away slowly, very similar to the last few seconds of the Patterson film, the way it walked, a brisk walk around this bend, and it was out of view. And that's all I saw. But yeah, the end of September, this creek is filled with salmon. And they're right at the end of their spawn run. And then they're easy pickings. The water's very low. I'm almost sure that's what the Sasquatch are doing when I saw them. They're just getting food. Easy meal. I could show you the sticker thing. So there's no cell phone covers here. So I was, Cliff Berkman, one of my good friends, I was going to call him, first person I was going to call. And there was a little wooden sign right on this tree. It's no longer here. And I put a little sticker on here as a marker to show them right where I was parked. And so I would come back here every year. And I always it was remarkable that sticker stayed on through all the bad weather, all the wind and rain that comes back here. So fast forward to 5 years to the day. This is the little weird part. And I'm camped over on that side. And it's the exact day, 5 years to the day. And it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. And two gals come by on horseback. And they ride through. And they ride right up to this sign. And the girl stops, looks at it, and rips that sticker off. And I couldn't believe it. Like 5 years to the day. And I always remarked how that sticker never came off of there. And yeah, I just think that was kind of weird that I got to witness that. What are the odds of me seeing that sticker get ripped off? 5 years to the day I had that sighting. It's pretty remarkable. But there's nothing but thick, gnarly woods all on that side. And there, if you keep going, you hit 26, and there's a lot of road crossings there. So they are in this area, 100%. There's a lot of encounters.
Have you heard any other vocalizations when you've camped here?
No, I've been here many times since. I've had no other Bigfoot activity that I know of. And I've known people that had weird things. They've camped at that horse camp.
The first witness, Mike Leone, recalls seeing a large brown figure with no visible neck crossing a logging road near Portland in 2012. Moments later, a violent scream came from the trees, a sound that felt directed straight at him.
I lived in the Sandy, Oregon area. So Riley Horse Camp, or the horse camp area, is and was very close to my house. And so I would go up there a lot to day hike during the summer, of course. I want to say it was approximately 2012. I'd taken 2 horses, my daughter and my husband at the time, up there with the intent to go camping and just have a couple nights away. And that's what I had booked. We unpacked, rode the horses, came back to camp, and then went to dinner, and then probably went to bed sometime right around 10 o'clock. And within 15 or 20 minutes or so of us going to sleep, my horse started getting really, really upset. So I got up. He was stomping and snorting. Couldn't see a reason for it, but usually, you think if there's a bear or cat nearby. Didn't hear anything, didn't see anything, laid back down. About 15, 20 minutes later, the same thing happened. He was snorting, stomping, throwing his weight around, got up. Couldn't see anything. I think by the third or fourth time, I was really starting to get a little bit irritated. But one of the next time, I think it was like time 3 or so, I could hear something out along the tree line. So I looked, but you couldn't see anything because it's such a dense forest. You use your flashlight and it just gets lost into the trees in the darkness. And so I really at that point thought more than likely it was wildlife. Well, then I laid down again, and next thing I hear is a conversation, something talking back and forth. I would say it sounded like 2 men or 2 males. It was much deeper, and you could hear the rustling in the trees. And I'm like, Okay. I get up again. And one of these times I got my husband up and he couldn't see anything. And I looked out, but I couldn't see anything. Like you could hear the bushes rustling, but you couldn't see. You couldn't see what was going on. And so I was like, all right, settle the horse, lay back down. And then that conversational piece continued. And the horses stayed fairly upset for a while. I didn't sleep real well that night because of what I presumed was somebody hiking around the perimeter of our camp. Not ideal. I mean, understandably, we're in a location, Riley, you don't have cell service. There are no park rangers. So if something happens, you're 7 miles up to the trailhead and to the gate and then another maybe 2 or 3 miles in. So, you're a little distance from being able to call for help if you need something, because Lolo Pass Road doesn't have cell service, a good portion of it. I think the next day, we decided probably was best that we leave. But it never really sat right with me what had happened the night before, because it dawned on me as we were packing and leaving and the day after that there was something in our camp area having a conversation. There was syntax. There appeared to be the glottal stop. So you could hear words with breaks in between. And it kind of, the joke, the samurai chatter. But what I realized is I couldn't recognize the language.
At Riley Horse Camp, a woman and her family reported hearing low voices at night, something resembling language but unnatural, matching what researchers call samurai chatter.
Remote backpacking trip with 2 co-workers, and we were out looking for high mountain lakes in the Mount Hood wilderness on a fishing trip, and we had a 2-night experience with Sasquatch. And so the first night, we set up our camp at this particular lake, and we go hike around to find some other lakes. So that night we go to bed around 11. At about 1:30 in the morning, I hear what sounds like 2 rocks being clanked together, and it's coming from 50, 60 yards away and getting closer and closer to camp. And my buddy in his tent heard this rock sound. And then I hear just something marching around above our camp. We had 3 tents set up, with 3 of us each in our separate tents, and it was kind of circling our camp and breaking sticks. At the time I couldn't tell if it was smacking things off of trees or stepping on them. Well, that goes on for a minute, and then that rock clank sound starts up again, and it gets further and further away.
Another hiker described nights in the Mount Hood wilderness when rocks struck together, branches snapped, and a massive shape moved behind a tree before disappearing. A father and son camping near a remote lake in 2022 heard wood knocks echo across the water, followed by a scream strong enough to shake their chests. They fled, leaving their gear behind. Researchers at the North American Bigfoot Center note that similar patterns, rock throwing, unusual vocal sounds, and strong odors appear repeatedly across Oregon's forests. Others describe close sightings and the strange stillness that follows when nothing moves but the sound lingers. Every account points to the same pattern: curiosity, mimicry, and territorial warning. Most encounters happen near camps rather than deep wilderness, as if something watches from the tree line drawn by firelight and food scents. Some believe these beings are guardians of the forest. Others think they may be remnants of an ancient human line. The forests around Mount Hood remain one of the most reported Bigfoot regions in the United States. 8 voices, 1 message, something massive still moves there. The question is no longer if they exist, but whether they already know we do. It was October 16, 2025, when Luke from the Outdoor Gear Review returned once again to Pisgah National Forest in North Carolina. His channel has always focused on camping, hiking, and gear testing, calm, methodical, and grounded in reality. But even before arriving, Luke mentioned something unusual. His last 2 visits to this same forest had been very, very weird. He said he would explain those experiences later.
My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. For this week's trip, I'm heading back to the Pisgah National Forest. Over the last couple of months, I've done 2 trips out to the Pisgah National Forest. Both of them were very, very weird. I will talk about the strange encounters that I had with other people later on in this episode.
Yet, as the trees grew thicker and the air felt heavier, it seemed like Pisgah already recognized him. Luke drove deep into the forest, searching for a place to camp. He spoke calmly, admiring the fall colors as he found a clearing, quiet, isolated, and perfect for testing his new tent and sleeping pad. He set up his shelter, carefully explaining each step, noting the slope of the ground and the direction of the incoming rain. Everything appeared under control. But as the day went on, something began to feel off. A car scraped harshly over a hidden dip in the road, followed by another vehicle hitting the same spot just hours later.
It is almost time for sundown, folks. Currently 6:41, and we are at 3,854 feet in elevation. I'm full and happy and warm. Life is definitely good. Someone did pull into the campsite that's across the road here. Made a bunch of noise. It sounded like they were setting up camp, and then all of a sudden they took off. At first, I'll be honest, I was concerned. They were pretty loud, pretty obnoxious. But then they quieted down, so who knows. Anyways, my friends, the plan for the rest of the evening is pretty simple. I'm going to sit around this fire for as long as I can. It may have another 30 minutes of life in it, but it's almost done. Once it's done, I'll hop inside of the tent and call it a night.
Luke described the sound as one of the worst he had ever heard. Later, while walking near his campsite, he noticed something unsettling: a pile of trash scattered through the trees.
I had a great time. While we didn't have any strange experiences in the Pisgah National Forest, we did find that massive pile of garbage and the drug stuff, which is to be expected, unfortunately, in this area. I've said it once and I'll say it again. If you're going to go out into a national forest area, a remote area, you really do have to be careful. You never know what you're going to find, and you never know what may find you.
Among it were used drug items left near the exact place he had chosen to sleep. He referred to it as an unfortunate discovery. It wasn't just trash. It was a sign that someone else had been there. Luke didn't touch anything. He simply moved on, his voice quieter than before. As the rain arrived early, he cooked dinner under his tarp and reflected on past trips to Pisgah times when strangers parked near his campsite shined flashlights into his tent or argued deep in the woods at night. He called it national forest weirdness, a mix of beauty and risk that can't be separated. That night, strong winds shook the trees, waking him around 3:30 a.m. He stayed still, listening. By morning, he made coffee, packed his gear, and prepared to leave. Luke never claimed anything paranormal, only that some forests feel different. Viewers agreed, sharing their own stories of uneasy camps, strange voices, and unusual encounters. One even suggested that a raven he saw years earlier might have been a warning. Luke ended the trip without any new incidents, just that single disturbing discovery. But his final message stayed with viewers: be careful out there. Because in Pisgah, sometimes the real danger isn't what you can't explain. It's what gets left behind. Tasha, a woman who occasionally shares short clips from her everyday life, captured a disturbing encounter while spending time by the river with her dog. What started as a calm and quiet outing quickly changed when she noticed a man moving through the water toward her.
What are you doing? You can't get out here, sir. No! Don't! They'll come! They'll come! What are you doing?
Her dog reacted immediately, sensing the tension and prompting Tasha to start recording. Later, she discovered that the man approaching her had a lengthy criminal history, including drug-related offenses, sexual assault, and weapons charges.
You're not taking my tube, boy. I'm recording. It is. I seen all of you. I got all of you on camera.
I'm with them, right?
Then go get with them.
Knowing his background made the situation even more unsettling. Fortunately, her dog kept him from getting too close, and once he realized he was being filmed, he backed off. The moment serves as a clear reminder of how quickly an ordinary outdoor activity can turn dangerous. Tasha's awareness, combined with her dog's protective reaction, likely prevented what could have escalated into something far worse. According to reports, the man was eventually sent back to jail for violating parole, showing how quickly reckless actions can lead to consequences. If you were alone by the river and saw someone approaching like that, would you stay calm and record or leave before things went any further? This clip comes from the YouTube channel Travel Snacks, who was wrapping up her time in Texas in January 2023, after visiting her son and driving around Dallas to explore neighborhoods she might one day call home.
So my last video, I was in Texas and it was going to be my last day. I was eating my kolache and it was delicious, but then I just wanted to drive around a little bit more, looking for different neighborhoods, places to live possibly. And then that night I wanted to take my son out to dinner as just a thank you for helping me with fixing my pipes and letting me stay at his house for a few days and stuff like that. So me and my son had a really nice time. So this morning I got up, went to Planet Fitness, got my shower, read my Bible, and it's time to go. And I'm headed to Jacksonville, Florida.
She planned to travel from Dallas to Jacksonville, Florida, choosing to move at a steady pace rather than rush the journey. Instead of pushing through long days of driving, she mapped out a route that allowed her to stop in different cities along the way, breaking the trip into manageable stretches so she wouldn't feel exhausted behind the wheel.
Every day, I don't like it when I have to drive like 5, 6, 10 hours a day to get somewhere. So I decided to just map out what the route is from Dallas to Jacksonville, driving 3 hours a day. What I've learned is never to exercise or exert yourself to the point of pain. So I'm just gonna take a quick walk, just get in some more steps. Fun little fact, I forgot about this place. Like I remember taking this walk before, but I didn't remember where it was in the world. And then when I pulled up, I was like, oh, I've been here before. So I'm in Bossier City, Louisiana. There's the casino. Next to it, which I'll pull up in a second, is Bass Pro Shops right next door. Outdoor World. Plenty of parking. See all these spots. Now I just need to find one that's a little more level. All right, this is a little better. I'll turn up the lights. This guy just tried to walk up to me. And then this guy with his lights that just flashed on me. I mean, I feel bad because he's asking for a jump, but you shouldn't, as a man, approach a woman asking her for a jump. Maybe when he saw that I was a woman, he didn't keep coming up to my van, but I just kept looking down. So it's a no for me. I'm going in the back. Make sure I lock my door. He's just standing there back by his truck. Maybe he's just frazzled, but if it was me, I would definitely go in to the casino and see if there's like a security that could help. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay. Good job, guy. He's walking towards the casino. These are the fun... Well, it's only fun if nothing bad happens, but these are the fun things that I like to do, is have these little spy moments from my van, because I'm nosy. Alright. It's nice and quiet. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Life on the road in a van comes with unavoidable challenges. That includes dealing with unexpected situations that can affect personal safety, especially after dark. Living alone in a van also requires constant awareness of surroundings, particularly when parking overnight in public spaces. Choosing unconventional places to sleep brings its own concerns about safety and comfort. Maybe the man in the parking lot simply needed help, or maybe staying cautious was the smarter choice in that moment. When you're alone in a quiet lot at night, do you assume the best in people or trust your instincts and stay alert? The unsettling video comes from Wandering Wild Things, a UK-based outdoor adventure channel where the host explores rivers, forests, and remote camping spots with her dog, sharing real wilderness trips, campsite setups, and the unpredictable situations that can arise when camping alone. It is February 25th, 2026, in a riverside woodland area in the United Kingdom. The host carefully drives along a muddy track beside the river before stopping to check the campsite with her dogs. The ground is wet and uneven. Broken glass is scattered across the area, and she begins gathering it to keep the dogs safe.
What's going on? She's acting like there's someone over there, but I don't see anything. And Willow is not the barker. Willow doesn't do this. So if Willow's doing this, something's freaking her out. Hey, Willow, it's okay. Olive's not freaked out though.
While walking around one of the dogs, Willow suddenly starts growling and barking toward the trees. The reaction is sharp and unusual, immediately catching the host's attention. She pauses and looks in the same direction, trying to figure out what the dog has noticed.
Hold on, you guys. Come here. Hey, come here. You might, if there is someone over there, I wouldn't sneak around. Hey, Willow. Olive, do you see anything? Do you see anything? Who's there? Willow-Dean, it's okay, baby. Willow, come here. Willow, what do you see? Come here.
She slowly moves around the campsite, calling the dogs back while scanning the woodland. She checks behind trees and along the nearby path, listening closely for any movement. Nothing is visible, but the uncertainty builds tension. Willow begins barking again, this time in another direction.
My heart's racing a little bit. All right. What is it, Will? I don't like this. Is it maybe the horse person that we saw earlier? Willow, come here. Willow, come here. It's okay. It is a road. Come here. Come here, Bibs. Are you okay? What is it? Her hair's not up anymore. Well, it is a little bit. She's acting like someone's around.
The host follows the sound and eventually finds the source, a small armadillo moving through the brush. After the interruption, she finishes setting up camp and prepares food as the temperature drops. The cold makes the night uncomfortable, and she eventually moves into the truck with the dogs to stay warm. Issues with the heater and bedding make it difficult to sleep, but they remain safe through the night. Camping alone in remote places always carries uncertainty. Sometimes the danger is real. Sometimes it is only wildlife. But when you are by yourself in the woods, every sound feels amplified. If you were there and your dog reacted like that, would you stay calm or pack up and leave?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.